I'd like to introduce our first speaker, who is in the back.
Thank you.
We have, and thank you also, Jack, from the Bridgewater Police Department for being here today. We're very thankful for that. We have Senator Walter Timilty today with us, and here he is.
Emily, thank you very much. Thank you all very much. I know Mrs. Clark, thank you. I know Sergeant Clark is right behind me. Right behind me, Sergeant. In all seriousness, Emily, first of all, thank you. And to your wonderful team here at the COA and my colleagues in government here, our Assistant Town Manager and our Town Councilors, thank you for joining me to honor our veterans. And to each and every veteran, thank you for what you have done for us. What you have done. You took an oath, you manned a watch, you stood a post, you put yourself in harm's way for each and every one of us. And I will go so far as to say, and I'm not going out on a limb here, but the United States Armed Forces are the finest armed forces that the world has ever seen. Because of the sacrifices that our veterans have made, and our veterans' families, and our Gold Star families. In some cases, our veterans, of course, who are no longer with us, have made the ultimate sacrifice, so that we may enjoy the freedoms and liberties in this country that are second to none around the world. And I'll also say that a lot of countries around the world live under the blanket of protection of the United States Armed Forces, and enjoy those very same liberties and protections that we're afforded here in this great country of ours. So to each and every veteran who is here with us today, you have protected us with your service and you have honored us with your presence. And I am deeply in your debt. I will never forget what you have done for us, and I know my fellow town councilors, our assistant town manager, our Bridgewater Police, our Bridgewater Fire, and Emily, you and your wonderful team here and your volunteers at the Council on Aging, we will never forget what our veterans have done for us. So God bless each and every veteran. God bless their families, and thank you again for what you have done with your magnificent service to our country and the armed forces. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, so we have Dennis Gallagher. Hello, Town Councilor, Councilor Gallagher. I will never forget a few years ago when we were in lockdown, but we had our events. Does everybody remember the Veterans Day programs outside, but where the pickleball courts are now? And you gave us one of the most welcoming, warm, heartfelt speeches I've ever heard. So thank you very much for being here again today.
Thank you very much. Well, that's a lot of pressure, I guess. We should be outside today. It's like in the 60s and sunny, but it isn't. But I just want to say on behalf of the town council today, as we gather around this state and around this country this time of year, all the communities get together to recognize the veterans that have served our country, as Senator Timilty has said many times, very, very well. This Saturday, the Tri-Town Veterans Day Parade, which is very, very important. East Bridgewater, West Bridgewater, and Bridgewater host the Tri-Town Veterans Parade every year. This year, it's East Bridgewater's turn. East Bridgewater has been celebrating their 200th anniversary this year. And to cap it off, they will have their Veterans Day, the Veterans Day Parade on this Saturday. So I hope that all of you are able to come out and join with them and join with West Bridgewater. I'll be in the parade with some of my fellow councilors representing the town of Bridgewater. One of the things that's really struck me this year for Veterans Day, even though I am originally from East Bridgewater, East Bridgewater has finally started, as some of you probably know, the Hometown Banner Recognition Program that Bridgewater has started several years ago, the Hometown Hero Program. East Bridgewater is calling it East Bridgewater Honors. And you have seen, if you drive around East Bridgewater, that they have had many banners placed up. And I'm very happy that my family got together to get one for my father, who was a World War II veteran who left East Bridgewater back in 1942 to serve in World War II. Purple Heart veteran, Bronze Star, and so forth. He was an Army veteran. So I'm grateful when I drive up Plymouth Street to see his banner flying with the others, as many are flying around the town of Bridgewater now. You know, in May we get together in a somber way to memorialize and recognize the veterans that have given the ultimate sacrifice to our country. In July, we get together to celebrate our independence for the kind of nation that we live under. But Veterans Day is a day to do all of that, is to recognize those who have served, that have given the ultimate sacrifice, to recognize those who are currently serving overseas or elsewhere, and to recognize those who are currently no longer a veteran, but still around and living their lives as productive as they can. We don't know what the future is going to bring. There's a lot of hot spots around the world today, and we don't know where that's all going to go. But our armed forces are ready, I believe, to continue to uphold democracy throughout the world and particularly protect our country. So this Veterans Day is very, very important, I think, with what is happening around the world. And we should all take the time to appreciate that. And I recognize all my fellow veterans here. I served in the Navy back in 1981 to 85. There really wasn't a lot going on back then. There was the Lebanese war between Iraq and Iran and all that going on. But I'm glad that my service hasn't been forgotten, and nor should any of yours or any relatives of yours who have served. So let's take some time this week, and particularly on Saturday, to recognize all our veterans. So thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you.
So before I pass it over to our performance, today we are honoring also all of our veterans, including our Veterans Director, Roderick Walsh. And he was so disappointed he couldn't be here today. As everyone is aware, he has some health issues. He's doing okay, I can say that. He's doing okay. He wishes he were here today, right here. And he sends his regards to everyone. Another memory that I just had was back when, during the pandemic, him and I wanted to give something to our veterans. And so he said, well, get them all a good sturdy mug. I said, what? Why? And those mugs on your table, which I hope everybody takes home with them today, are the mugs that are Roddy's idea. And so we made that come to fruition. It says Senior Strong, and you are Senior Strong for sure. You're here and you're with us today, and you're with your friends and your neighbors and people who you've grown up with or raised your kids with. So please take your Senior Strong mug home with you today. And if you need an extra for somebody who didn't come, take one off the table. Or let me know if you can't find one. I just want to thank our staff today for putting this program together. Angie Berghaus is our program coordinator. She's also a veteran herself from the Air Force. She's with her 9-year-old son, Nolan, working very hard. She's raising him right for sure. Here she comes.
Hi, Angie.
Thank you, Angie, for being here. Her last day is Thursday, which we're very sad about, but we learned a lot from her, as well as her respect towards the senior population. So thank you, Angie, very much. Other staff are busy answering the phones, booking rides, and getting everybody very busy. A lot of the volunteers today are helping to serve, and they set the tables, and they made everything look very appropriate and beautiful. And one veteran in particular, who dressed very, very well for the occasion, is Mr. William Labossiere. Thank you, Bill, for your service and for working at the Senior Center every single day. You put us in our place, and we're thankful for it. So without further ado, we now have the singing trooper.
You know these songs, I know these songs, you love them, I love them, put your hands together, come on. I want to hear you raise your voices, come on, fire me up. Up, up. Oh yeah. Come on. Let me hear it. Your grand old flag, go high and flag, and forever in peace may we. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true to the red, white, and blue, where there's never a bush or rag. And should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your heart This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking on that highway, I looked up on me, down in the skyway. I looked below me, down in the valley. This land was made for you and me. Is your part ready? The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie sky is wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, the sage in bloom is like perfume. Deep in the heart of Texas, reminds me of the one I love. Deep in the heart of Texas, come on now. I'm a Yankee Doodle, that's it. Yankee Doodle, do or die. A real line if you want my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. Oh, Yankee Doodle came to town, riding on a pony. I have my Yankee Doodle boy. Over there, send the word over there. And that the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming. The drum, the tom and everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer. Send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till we're over there. You ready? Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Hey, don't hang. Lord, I wanna be in that number. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Come on. Oh, when the sun begins shine. Oh, when the sun begins to shine. Lord, I wanna be in that number. Oh, when the sun begins to shine. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Lord, I wanna be in that number. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. The rule is if you have a soprano on deck, they always take the high note. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. It was done by the great Johnny Cash, and then we're going to have our national anthem, the Stars Spangled Banner.
Thank you very much.
You know, I walked across a county courthouse square. On a park bench, I saw an old man, and he was sitting there. I said, "Your courthouse, it's kind of run down." He said, "Nah, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your flagpole, it's lean a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat." And I sat down. He said, "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "Well, we don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a hole in that flag over there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And you know she got powder burned the night that Francis Scott Key sat watching her writing, 'Oh, say, can you see?' She got a big rip in New Orleans with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at her seams, and she almost fell at the Alamo. Saw that Texas flag, but they waved on no. She got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg. And that south wind, she blew hard on our ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II, and she hung limp and low a time or two. She was in Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She waved on our ships upon the briny foam, and now you know they've almost done quit waving back here at home. In her own good land here, she has been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused, and the government for which she stands is sometimes scandalized throughout the land. She's been getting threadbare, and she's wearing thin. But she's in good shape for the shape she's in, 'cause she's been through the fire before, and I believe that she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, and we lower her down slow every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up just right. You know, on second thought, I do like to brag, 'cause I know we're all mighty proud of our ragged old flag. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the United States of America, our Star-Spangled Banner. Beat! Oh, say can you see by the dawn's great light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched, oh so gallantly streaming, and there rockets red glare, the monster-sting in death gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Seats. Thank you so much. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I always want to know where these great songs come from. And this next song I found came from a little place called North Andover, Massachusetts. And way back in the day, there was a young man by the name of Samuel Smith, you see. Well, Samuel, he was so upset about the British fleet bombing our nation's capital way back when, that out of spite, he stole the British national anthem. Now it's God Save the King. He changed the words, and for 100 years, we were singing this song as our national anthem before we adopted the Star-Spangled Banner. You all know it. Join and sing with me, My Country 'Tis of Thee. Here we go. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountain side let freedom ring. My native country, the land of the noble free, thy name I love. I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills. My heart with rapture thrills like that above. Like I said, that one came from North Andover, but there's another song that's even more powerful. Wherever I travel around this nation, I always tell the story about the young lady who wrote it. because you see, she was one of the first literary professors at the great Wellesley College. She was on vacation, she traveled this great nation, she made it all the way out to the Rocky Mountains, to Pikes Peak in Colorado. In 1893, she climbed this peak while she was seated on the back of a mule. She got on top of the mountain, she looks back at this nation. She is so moved by everything that she sees, she writes a poem. That poem is put to music. It is so beloved, many people think that this song should be our national anthem. If you go right down the road to Cape Cod, Falmouth, Massachusetts, right in front of the public library, there's a beautiful statue of this young lady in her honor. Her name, Catherine Lee Bates, from Falmouth, Massachusetts, and she's the one who wrote the one and only America the Beautiful. Now I have this beautiful orchestration. My lovely wife is going to lead you. You all know this. Please sing America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, none mercy more than life. Come on now. America, America, God shed His grace on me, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. America the beautiful, So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, as a United States Marine, obviously I take the greatest pride in my service, and I spend a lot of time. I'll go out to schools and, I'll talk to them about being a veteran, and I tell the kids, I said, to become a veteran, you have to go to a special school, and we call that special school boot camp. And then we tell them that when we go to this special school of boot camp, we have special teachers. They're known as drill instructors. Well, as a United States Marine, I was trained down at a very famous place called Parris Island, South Carolina. Everybody who lives east of the Mississippi River goes to Parris Island. Everybody who lives west of the Mississippi River goes to a place called MCRD San Diego. That's where they're trained, and we call them the Hollywood Marines. They're issued sunglasses and suntan lotion. So, but the funny thing is, in boot camp, there's only 1 hour when you had peace. And that 1 hour is when they recommended that you go to church or to chapel. And the funny thing is that every single teenager went to church. Because for that 1 hour, the drill instructors were not allowed to mess with you. It was almost as if the hand of God was over the chapel like a force field. They weren't even allowed inside, but you could see them outside the chapel. They're circling back and forth like a pack of hungry wolves. And you knew what they were thinking. They're like, you may be God's now, but I'll get you in about an hour. We would end up every service with a song that you all know so well. Now, from church, you may know this song to be Eternal Father, but it's really the Navy hymn.
And you may say to yourself, Dan, that's my first name, Dan. They say, Dan, that's kind of strange. Why are the Marines singing a Navy hymn? Well, my Navy brethren never let me forget that the United States Marine Corps is under the Department of the Navy. People don't realize that, you know, back in the day, our Navy ships were actually being attacked by pirates. So they said to themselves, we gotta find some crazy individuals, crazier than pirates. Where should we go? I know, we'll go to a pub. Ton Tavern, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And they walk into this pub and they said, does anyone here want to fight off pirates that are attacking our Navy ships? And that was the beginning of the United States Marine Corps. Now, the composer of Eternal Father wrote about 14 verses. I'm not going to sing them all, but he gave respect to every single service under the sun. And I'm going to sing the classic one, and I hope you sing it with me, but I'm also going to sing the verse that was written for the United States Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Eternal Father. Eternal Father, strong to set the time hath bound the restless wave, who beats the mighty oceans deep, its own appointed limits keep. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea. Eternal Father, grant, we pray, for all Marines, both night and day, whose courage, honor, strength, and skill their land to serve thy law fulfill. Be thou the shield forevermore from every peril to the And then, as all my veterans know, as soon as you're done your boot camp, you're sent to your first A school. And, you know, I wanted to be a hard charger Marine with my M16, but they said, no, son, we want you to learn avionics, aviation electronics, and we're going to send you to a place called Memphis, Tennessee. Naval Air Station, Memphis. And that's where they taught me to do electronics. Now, I had never been south of the Mason-Dixon line before, so when I had some time off on Sunday morning, man, I wanted to go down to Memphis, and frankly, I wanted some Southern cooking. I just love that Southern cooking, you know. You can't give me enough of that stuff. But when I was down there, I found myself a mansion. And that mansion, it had its own name. It was called Graceland. I come to find out the young man who lived in Graceland was known as Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Then I come to find out that Elvis was a United States veteran just like me. I come to find out that the United States Army drafted the king of rock and roll into service. Now, you might think they would take the king, make him a captain or a major, something like that. Oh no, Private Elvis Presley, right? And then you might think that they would take the king of rock and roll, put him in a USO show, maybe entertain the troops. Oh no. They sent him over to Germany, and he served in the tank corps, artillery. Now, I get to meet a lot of folks like yourself. And I meet a lot of people who actually served with Elvis. And there was a gentleman who said, you know, Elvis was adamant. He just did not want to sing. He didn't want to do any concerts because he didn't want to be treated any different. So when the command staff would ask him to sing a concert, he'd say, "Hello, sir. I just want to serve my country, just like any other GI." And he wouldn't sing. Well, his buddy told me, he says, one time Elvis sang us a song. Guess what song he sang? I said, I don't know. Blue suede shoes? All shook up? Hound dog? No. You know what Elvis sings to him? Look at that doggy in the window. I said, no way. He says, wait. I said, do you have a recording of that? He says, no. Elvis just started singing to this off the top of my head. So, ma'am, I can only use my imagination on how that must have gone, you know. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hold that doggies for sale. I don't know, something like that, right? But you know, Elvis was a great patriot, a great entertainer. He loved this country. And you know, the thing about it is I love watching when he was in the 1970s during the Vietnam War, all the reporters were coming because they knew he was a veteran. And they would come up to him and they'd say, Elvis, Elvis, what do you think about the Vietnam War? And I just wish the entertainers today would take a little slice of what Elvis did. He stops and says, ma'am, I'm just an entertainer. My opinion doesn't matter at all. And that's what Elvis answered when he was asked about the Vietnam War. Anyway, he made movies, and one of the movies was called GI Blues. Now, I'd like to try to recreate this if I can. I don't know, my hips are warmed up enough, but GI Blues. Give us a ring with you, a beautiful heart. Give us a room with you, a beautiful rhyme. Give your money on the creek in Texas, spend your time. I got the substitute free for occupation GI Blues. From my GI head to the heels of my GI shoes. And if I don't go stateside soon, I'm gonna blow a fuse. How you doing, baby? Get hot some pepper and black pumpernickel for chow. Oh no. Get hot some pepper and black pumpernickel for chow. I'll blow my next month's big orange like a Texas cow. We like to be roast, but all that we do here is march. Up, 1, 2, 3. We like to be heroes, but all that we do here is march. And you don't get a purple heart from a ball and arch. Oh, I got this 1, 2, 3, 4 occupation GI Blues. From my GI head to the heels of my GI shoes. And if I don't go stateside soon, I'm gonna blow a fuse. Troy lines the prettiest flowers, but we can make them pass. How you doing, Simplify. Troy lines the prettiest flowers, but we can make them pass. Close the hole and signs ain't keeping Z off the grass. Oh. I got the 1, 2, 3, 4 occupation GI Blues. From my GI head to the heels of my GI shoes. And if I don't go stateside soon, I'm gonna blow a fuse. Occupation GI Blues. Occupation GI. Oh, occupation GI Blues. At ease. But you know, there's so many folks that support our troops, you know, but there's one organization that you know very, very well. It's called the USO, and they've been going strong for many, 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 many years. And well, you know, back in the day, there used to be 3 sisters, and they were known as the, oh yes, America's Sweethearts. They sang well up into their 80s. They have since passed away, but I only have one of those sisters here with me today. And we are going to recreate their #1 song of all time. You ready, honey?
He was a famous gentleman from that Chicago way. He had a book style who us would play. He was called man about his craft. But then his father came up and he was going to draft. You know the only letter he's going rapidly. He's the boogie boogie bugle boy company B. The man who was bugle for his Uncle Sam. He really wanted that because he would not jam. He had to see you understand. Because he lifted the cab without a track to the band. And now nobody knows when he was rapidly. He's the boogie boogie bugle boy company B.
Doodly he was into the bar. And one of them got no one known as space guitars playing with him. And the company took the traveling. He's the boogie bugle boy company B.
What's the boogie boogie bugle boy company B?
You tell him, honey. Hop. And when he plays boogie woogie doodle, he was busy as a bee. And when he plays the bass, come and jump into the bar. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy company B. He was into the bar. Oh, and boogie woogie cowboy known as the bass guitars playing with him. And the company jumps the ring for traveling. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy company B. Come on now. Huh. 2, 3, 4. Huh. Come on, baby. Here we go. Take him home now. Every night, wakes them up and say we're in the early light. They clap their hands and stomp their feet. Say oh, oh, go, someone gets them a beat. And now the company jumps, but it was family. He's the boy, you are company B. He was into the bar. And boogie woogie, cowboy known as the bass guitars playing. Whoa, with him. And the company jumps when he was traveling. He's the boy, you are company B. Ho!
Thank you.
You know, there's so many songs that are tribute to veterans, and many people don't consider this a veterans tribute, but it really is. And this is the part of the program where I make a confession. And my confession is that I did not have the great opportunity to grow up in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I actually grew up in a state south of here. You know it very well. It's known as Delaware. Yes, I did grow up in Delaware. My father was a professor of genetics and biology at the University of Delaware, and he was actually the top 100 men of science. My father used to shoot bugs up into space for NASA to check the radioactive and mutative aspects on living organisms before the astronauts went up. But for some reason, all scientists all over the world, they collaborated at a place called Woods Hole, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. The Marine Biological Laboratories of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. So every single summer, my dad dragged me out of Delaware. He forced me to go to Cape Cod. I had my own Boston whaler. I'm in Vineyard Sound fishing for bluefish, or I'm at the Nopska Beach looking at the pretty girls. It was just child abuse, I tell you. No, I couldn't have a better upbringing. But the honest fact is, growing up in Delaware, I had never, ever heard Irish or Celtic music. And it wasn't until I got on the Massachusetts State Police and I started singing that the command staff looked at me and they're like, son, you need to start singing some Irish tunes, you know what I mean? So I learned tons of Irish tunes now. I love singing them. But when I was a little boy in Delaware, my mom did try to get me to learn just one of these songs. She'd look at me all serious like, and she'd say, oh, Danny, boy. Oh, Danny, boy. Thank you. I didn't get it. I was a blockhead.
And in this song, if Danny Boy's the eldest man of the family, it follows that the grandfather and the father have since passed away. And that this song was written and intended for a mother. A mother who is standing with her eldest son, Danny, sending him off to war. Now, as I said, I know this is personal to many, many people, including our family. Many of you know our story. We have our own Danny Boy. He was an elite gymnast growing up as a little boy. He was your state champ. He was New England champ. He was national champion on the pommel horse. And then he wanted to go to college. And there was only one place he wanted to go to college. We drove him down to the great state of Maryland, where they have a state capital known as Annapolis. Our son Daniel became a midshipman at the United States Naval Academy, and he competed for Navy men's gymnastics for 4 years. In 2022, he graduated. He shook the hand of the President of the United States, and they commissioned him a second lieutenant in my United States Marine Corps. He then was sent to a place called Quantico, Virginia, where they now still train officers of Marines. He graduated from Quantico, and he is currently in another famous place known as Pensacola, Florida, where he just began his flight training to be a Marine Corps pilot. So when we sing this song, thank you. When we sing this song, we're singing it for our son. But we always offer it to you. For all those folks that you hold so deep in your hearts and wish could be here with you right now. It is only fitting and proper that the person that this song was intended and written for start by singing the classic, beautiful song, Oh Danny Boy, Danny's mom.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From land to land and down the mountain side.
and I shall sleep in peace until you come to How you guys doing over there? Good? Yeah? I heard you're going to college next year. Is that true? You guys going to college next year? I'm kidding. You know, I was a veteran. I served in the United States Marine Corps. To become a veteran, you know, you have to listen to commands. They give you commands, kind of like your teachers, but the drill instructor is a little meaner than your teacher. Teachers are really nice. But I'm gonna teach you some commands, okay? So when I tell you something, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, ready, feet, and you're gonna stand up real fast. Can you do that for me? Okay, and this is how a drill instructor will say, ready, oh, feet. Okay, outstanding, outstanding. Now, to sit back down, I'm gonna give, no, get back. When you go to sit back down, I'm gonna give you another command. It's gonna be ready, seats, but don't do anything. It's gonna sound like this. Ready, seats, and you're gonna, oh, get back. And you're gonna drop out of the sky. I don't want anyone to get hurt. Don't hit each other. Just have fun time with this, okay? So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do all of our service hymns. You may see it down there: Merchant Marines, Coast Guard, Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and then the United States Marine Corps. Now, one of the things we do a lot as a veteran is march around. So when I give you the okay, I want you to start marching. When you see me go start like that, you're gonna start marching with me, okay? First, we're gonna practice. Ready? I see you back there. Seats. Ready? Feet. Outstanding. Now, a lot of times, if I see our flag, or if I see an officer, like I'm a sergeant, if I see a colonel, I'm supposed to salute him. Can anybody tell me why we salute? Yes, ma'am. Why salute? Why salute? I'm looking for one word. That's okay. Anybody? Why salute? Yes, ma'am. I like that. It's a greeting, right? I like that, but I'm looking for one word. Why? Yes, sir. It is good to do, thank you, because if I don't do it, I'll probably get in trouble. Anybody, why salute? Why, yes, sir. So you can be nice. I like that. And what the same word for being nice is respect. Out of respect, right? So when you salute, it's out of respect. So I'm going to teach you real quick how to salute. Everybody, take your right hand, okay? Now, your other right hand. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. I'm just messing with you. You're so happy. Okay, so you have your right hand. Now, the first thing I want you to do is I want to put all your fingers together like this, and put your thumb on your forefinger. Don't let your finger go out like a flag, okay? Put it right on your forefinger. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to take this hand and I want to put it on an imaginary desk like you're in your classroom. Put it on a desk in front of you, nice and flat. Now, if you look at your hand and your wrist, you'll notice everything is perfectly straight. So what I want you to do now is just slowly raise it up and shade your right eye, just like this. You're going to shade your right eye, okay? Now that's a hand salute. Now, put it away for a second. Now I'm going to give you a command. To do a hand salute, I can do a couple of things. I'm going to say, present arms, okay? And then you're going to snap that salute up real quick, but it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like this. Present, and there you go, outstanding. Then you're gonna bring it up. Okay, put your salutes down. Ready? Present. Now, you have to keep your salute up until your sergeant or your commanding officer tells you to put it away. And to put it away, it's called order arms, okay? Don't do anything. The command's gonna sound like this. And then you're gonna snap it down, okay? So let's try this. Here we go. Present. Outstanding. Okay, I'm going to do the military, sir. You stay standing because I want you guys to march. You guys want to march? Want to have a good time? Okay. Okay, here we go. Fire me up.
As a United States Marine, obviously I take the greatest pride in my service, but I have the greatest respect for all of those who have served. Now you know my hymn, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of... Outstanding. If you serve the United States Army, you know your hymn to be caissons go rolling. Yep, they changed the word just a little bit, now called Army First to Fight. If you served in our United States Navy, your iconic song, Anchors, outstanding. If you serve the United States Air Force or Army Air Corps, your hymn is always known as Wild Blue. You guys are good. I'm going to try to stump you here. Our newest branch of service is known as the Space Force. They just unveiled their hymn and their motto. It's, gotcha, Semper Supra, always above. In addition, this group of men and women who not only guard our shores, but they're deployed to combat venues all over the world. Their hymn is Semper Paratus, always ready, the United States Coast Guard. And then finally, there's a group that was long forgotten, supporting and defending this nation since 1775 in both peace and in war. I'm referring to our merchant marines. Their hymn, Heave Ho, my lads, heave ho. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would respectfully request, when I sing your hymn, if you have served, had a family member who has served, been married to a serviceman or servicewoman, you don't have to stand up. But when I sing your hymn, put your paw in the air so I can properly recognize you. The order of military hymns is going to be the Merchant Marines, the Coast Guard, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Space Force, and then the United States Marine Corps. These are the men and women who defend the great United States of America. You guys ready? Here we go. There we go. Merchant Marines, where are you? Heave ho, my lads, heave ho. It's a long, long way to go. It's a long, long pull with the hatches full, breaking the wind, breaking the sea, finding a treacherous foe. Heave ho, my lads, heave ho. Though the seas blow high and low, oh, we can cross any ocean, sail any river. Give us those goods and we'll deliver. The submarines, we're the men of the Merchant Marines. Do I have any Coast Guardsmen on deck? Coast Guard, Coast Guard. We're always ready for the call. Oh, we place our trust indeed. Through surf and storm and howling gale, I shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame and glory too. To fight, to save, and fight to die. I, Coast Guard, we are for you. Okay, where's my army? Army! First to fight for the right and to build a nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fight until the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Up on its high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Call up your cane and stand and strong. Wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. You ready? Navy! Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the floor, until we meet once more. Just wish you a happy voyage home. Where's my Air Force? Air Force! Off we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. Oh, down we dive, spat our flames from under, and to God in the gun. Off we go, a sugar to me, our thunder, up in one hell of a roll. We live in faith or down in flame, hands up the U.S. Air Force, Space Force. We're the mighty watchful hive, guardians beyond the blue, the invisible
line. War fighters brave and true, boldly reaching into space. There's no limit to our sky, ungodly night and day, where the Space Force from on high. All right, Marines, lock your bodies up. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, oh, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and the sea. Of us to fight for right and freedom and to keep our honor clean. Oh, we are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Hurrah! From our merchant marines to our Coast Guardsmen, our Army, our Navy, our Air Force, our Space Force, our United States Marine Corps. Godspeed and stay safe. Praise and ready, seats. You guys are good. Outstanding. How about a round of applause for our first graders? Outstanding. Do I have any CBs on deck? Do I have any CBs on deck? Any CBs? Nope, okay. You know, there's so many songs out there. There's a gentleman on the state police I used to work with. His name was Captain Al Pacino, just like the movie star. He had a son who enlisted in our United States Army after September 11th. His name was Matthew. Matthew Pacino became the toughest of the tough. Green Beret. His call sign was Blackbeard. Every time I say that, the family has ordered me to tell you why they called him Blackbeard. Because you see, when you're in special forces training, you have to be clean-shaven, bald like me. But when you graduate, they want you to fit in with the indigenous peoples. So they immediately started growing their hair out. And the story is that within 1 week, Matthew grew this massive black beard, like he was a chia pet, just pushed it out of his face. So his call sign became Blackbeard. And this is the same way with pilots. I asked Danny, I said, how does that work? It goes, you don't pick your call sign. It's something you've done or something people watch you to do, and all your classmates and all the other, they pick it for you. So it's, you know, it's, some of them are quite interesting. So, but as you can imagine, you know. But this family became a Gold Star family when Matthew was killed in Afghanistan by an improvised explosive device, like many of our servicemen and women. But out of this great tragedy, this family has done incredible things. Every year, right in the early part of July, they have a motorcycle ride on Cape Cod, and it has exploded to about 1,000 motorcycles. And they all come out, and they, out of tribute to Staff Sergeant Matthew Pacino, and they raise money. And then in the fall, right before September 11th, they have a golf tournament down at the Ritz-Carlton down in Orlando. Mary and I just went down and we supported Captain Pacino, and they have so many people sign up for this golf tournament, they have to get a tractor trailer to bring extra golf carts to the course. This year, just for this one event, they were able to give $100,000 to the Gary Sinise Foundation to help veterans. Now, those of you who may not know who Gary Sinise is, if you've ever seen, Gump, he is Lieutenant Dan.
And Lieutenant Dan, to this day, does everything he can for the veterans. And when we perform, of course, we do all these patriotic songs, but they say, Dan, we really want that one song, a tribute to Matthew, made famous by Staff Sergeant Sadler in the Vietnam War. You know it as the Ballad of the Green Beret.
Fighting soldiers from the sky, these are men who jump and die, men who mean just what they say, the brave men of the Green Beret, silver wings upon their chest. These are men, America's best. 100 men will test today, but only 3 win the Green Beret. Trained to live off nature's land, trained in combat, hand to hand, men who fight by night and day, the brave men of the Green Beret, silver wings upon their chest. These are men, America's best. 100 men will test today, but only 3 win the Green Beret. Back at home, a young wife waits. Her Green Beret has met his fate. He has died for those oppressed, leaving her his last request. Pin silver wings on my son's chest. Make him one of America's best. He'll be a man they'll test one day. Have him win the Green Beret. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, here's to the heroes.
Here's to the heroes, those who dare, hiding for glory, leaving a prayer. Here's to the heroes who changed our lives, paid so much. You guys are great. And thank you again to all the veterans. Thank you.